Hey everyone, how you doing today? Mary Ellen Vanakin, Susan Jennings, real estate ladies of North Atlanta. How you doing today, Sue?
I'm doing great. How are you, Mary Ellen?
I'm doing great. So today we're going to talk about an interesting topic called pickleball in North Atlanta. Pickleball is everyone's doing it. So we're telling you all about it in the North Atlanta area. So if you move here, you can play pickleball too. We're going to talk about our neighborhood highlight, which is the Promenade at Sawney Village, which is a 55 and plus community in Cumming. Then we're going to talk about a pickleball. We're going to talk about what we love about North Atlanta, which is mountains. And then we're going to have our great design tip of the day. So let's get into it, Sue. The neighborhood highlight today is the Promenade at Sawney Village, and it's in Cumming. So give us a little information about this community.
Well, the Providence Group is building this active adult community for over 55 individuals, and they're catering specifically to the preferences of age 55 and over.
Nice.
They're embracing the great life with an elevated product, and they have different floor plans for you to choose from there.
Nice.
And it is a gated community. All of these floor plans and so forth are low maintenance. There is an HOA, which maintains the professional landscaping around the properties. Most of these floor plans are modern farmhouse exteriors with private outdoor living spaces. Primary bedrooms are on the main level. And there are also zero entry walk-in shower options. So for those of you that don't know what that is a curbless entry to your shower. And they have elevated open concept floor plans with gourmet kitchens and spacious living rooms. They have a state-of-the-art design studio where you can personalize your home and make your selections. This particular community is walkable to retail and restaurants in the Market Square district. Amenities in the community include a clubhouse, a catering kitchen where you can entertain guests, an exercise room, pools, a fire pit, and 3 pickleball courts. What do you know?
Of course. Yeah, and that's the reason why we're taking this community in our neighborhood highlight. Now, I just want to tell people that we're getting a lot of 55 and older communities in Forsyth County, which is where Cumming is, because if you turn 62, you don't have to pay the school tax anymore. So a lot of people, grandparents that are following their children and they want to see their grandkids are moving to Forsyth County because of the taxes. Is that not correct, Sue, right?
That's correct. And actually, Forsyth County is a little bit more attractive anymore than even Cherokee County was a couple years ago, because Cherokee County is changing some of their rules there as far as the length of time you have to live in the county before you would qualify for that 62 plus tax break. So it's something to consider when you're looking into making a move. And as I say, you're right sizing, not downsizing.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to give everybody the address of this community. It's 483 Dahlonega Street in Cumming, Georgia.
Perfect. And it's really in a great location. And it's great to get down to Alpharetta, Roswell, Sandy Springs, downtown. And then before you know it, you just go a little north and you're at the mountains. So that's kind of nice, which we're going to talk about in a little bit too. So look, we are just coinciding everything, the pickleball courts, and then we're getting into mountains. So let's talk about pickleball. And what is pickleball, Sue? And how is North Atlanta embracing the pickleball craziness?
Well, the way I describe pickleball, it's kind of like standing on a ping pong table on a tennis court. You're not actually on a table. You're on about half of a tennis court, maybe even they can sometimes get 3 pickleball courts sideways on what was a tennis court previously. And so anyway, in the North Atlanta area, they're creating teams, and you can now take lessons. You can join like Wednesday evening groups that just casually meet, and you go as you can. Sometimes there's a group me or WhatsApp group that communicates like who's going to be there on a particular night of the week. You can participate in clinics, and here's how you can get involved. We've got a lot of locations and facilities included in our information today. In addition to public parks, which are converting some of their tennis courts into pickleball courts, there are community centers that do have some indoor pickleball facilities, just like the YMCA has converted some of their basketball court facilities. Even if it's just a temporary change where they bring out nets, they do have pickleball indoors, which is really nice when it's super hot outside here or when it's rainy. There are also private entities that now have pickleball. Some of these locations in general in the area, a public place would be Alpharetta North Park. They offer multiple pickleball courts. They host casual play as well as leagues. In Roswell, there's East Roswell Park. They have dedicated pickleball courts, and you can also find clinics there and open play events. In Johns Creek, in Newtown Park, the park has pickleball courts, and that's a really vibrant community and a vibrant park there. We mentioned this one in a previous podcast that we did because we were covering dog parks, and there's a great dog park there too. But Newtown Park also has organized play events. Windward Lake Club is another one that it's a private club, but to play pickleball there is not a huge expense to become a member. And they do have dedicated pickleball courts that are brand new that they just finished a couple months ago. And they do have events for members there. In Decatur, Agnes Scott College, they occasionally host pickleball events open to the public. And Pickle and Social is another one on my list. It's coming to Alpharetta, right at the interchange of Georgia 400 and Haynes Bridge Road. That's yet to be built, but that's supposed to be a fantastic facility with multiple pickleball courts, both indoors and outdoors. And one last place that I want to mention, which is a fantastic tennis and pickleball facility that has hosted big tournaments, is the Lifetime Fitness location in Peachtree Corners.
Yeah.
They have amazing facilities there.
Yeah. So let's just dig in a little bit about pickleball. So what I would say is I know in Forsyth County, some of the parks have indoor and they have times you can come in and play, which is great. So I think if you just Google pickleball and find your people, Alta, which is the tennis Alta, has pickleball teams. So basically you join Alta, you can have pickleball teams, and they have different ones. They have mixed pickleball, which is, a guy and a girl. They have 2 women, 2 men. They have, so it's kind of like the same thing as Alta, but in pickleball, and they have different levels of play. And what you see too is all over Facebook, you're going to see in the North Atlanta area, people are always talking about, hey, I want to learn how to play pickleball. What do I do? Or, hey, I took lessons from this guy. What do you think? Or I want to start a league, or I want to be, so there's always, and what's good about pickleball, it's for all ages. You're seeing the young people, and, everyone thinks pickleball in the beginning, but I don't know, one day I was flipping channels and we were on ESPN and there was some pickleball tournament in South Carolina. And I was amazed on how good these people were.
Right.
And they were young too doing it. So I was like,
right. I've been to Hilton Head, to the Palmetto Dunes Tennis and Pickleball Center. They're on Hilton Head Island, and they have an amazing pickleball tournament that brings in probably 700 people from across the country just to play in this tournament. So, and it's fascinating just to be a spectator and wander around and watch some of these very talented advanced players play, and just the strategy that goes into it, and just their they're so coordinated, and their movements and all are so creative, and it's just fun to watch.
Yeah. And I mean, I would say that most people, you can go get a pickleball paddle and all the equipment online. You can go, the athletic stores have them now. And
Dick's Sporting Goods has a big selection. Yeah.
So how do you know what pickleball paddle you should get or whatever? I mean,
Right. Well, that does take some research. I recommend that you do your own research online based upon, what kind of maybe you were or maybe you weren't a tennis player before you picked up pickleball. That could impact where your ability level is when you start out. But the ratings and the reviews on pickleball paddles will be very, very helpful in, you know, telling you how advanced the paddle is for a particular player, whether there's a lot of spin for that paddle or not. And pickleball paddles can really range in price. You can get one at Costco for probably, $29, $39 for two pickleball paddles, or you could go to Dick's and spend like $200 on a pickleball paddle. So it really depends upon, how much you think you might play and, whether you want to get a starter paddle and then move up from there once you get to be a little bit better player and you decide whether you really like the sport and it's for you. That might be one approach to take and not make the huge investment up front in something that's maybe too much of a paddle for you.
So really it's social. It's all about social
Yeah.
lifestyle. It's any age. It's younger people, older people. I mean, what is old now? 99 years old? I don't know. So what I'm saying is, it's just a great fun game. It's social. You're out there meeting people in your community, and bonding over things you like. So it's social, yet you get a little bit of activity out of there. Tennis players will say, oh no, pickleball is just different movement. You're moving side to side, but you're still getting a pretty good workout. Not like tennis, but you still do get a good workout in it.
You do get a good workout. And there's a couple little things that I want to point out as far as equipment that you might want to consider when you're buying your pickleball paddle. Don't just buy the paddle. Don't forget to buy balls. And the balls can be very different as to whether you plan on playing indoors or outdoors. And the difference is the number and the size of the holes in the pickleball itself. A pickleball, it looks more like a wiffle ball that you used to play with as a kid when you had the plastic bat and you were playing in your backyard or on your driveway as a kid. But it's important that, you look at the balls before you purchase them. Make sure you're buying outdoor balls if you're going to be playing outdoor, and you have indoor balls if you plan on playing like in the YMCA gym or someplace like that. The other thing that you want to take into consideration is what you're going to carry your stuff in. There are pickleball bags, just like you can buy a tennis bag, but these are much smaller. And, it's kind of fun to accessorize with some of these colorful things that really make you feel like you've gotten into the sport. And you can put a spare water bottle or a towel or a snack or something in your bag as well, so that you stay hydrated and keep your energy level up.
Yeah. So do you know anything about the new place, Pickle and Social?
Pickle and Social is going to have about a half a dozen indoor and a half a dozen outdoor courts. Don't quote me on that because obviously that's a really rough estimate. I don't know when they're going to break ground, but they do have a sign at the location now. And I believe it's been through Alpharetta City Council at least once, and it has been announced that it will be coming. And I think that will be, there might be a little bit of a membership fee to belong there. I don't know for sure. But, that whole company that owns Pickle and Social also has like Fairway Social and a couple other similar concept type of places that you can go and socialize.
Yeah. I mean, that's really become that people want to exercise and socialize all at the same time. And then one more thing that we are seeing in pickleball is we're seeing a lot of charity events where people go play pickleball and they give money towards charity. So I like that effect of we're giving back to communities and charities that really need our help in this world. So, yeah. Anything else we want to add on pickleball?
No, I mean, I would definitely, if you're looking for a pickleball group, I would look online, perhaps look at meetup.com. You might be able to find some groups. Facebook's a great place to find groups. Call your local USTA tennis facility. They will also have suggestions for you. USA Pickleball also has places to play listed. The Playtime Scheduler is a app and a website that some of these groups use to schedule courts. And it's really interesting if you go to open play somewhere and you need 4 people to play, but say, 9 people show up. That's just fine. What people do is they put their paddles down in order. And then as soon as that game is done, the next 4 paddles that are in line pick up your paddle and you get on the court, you meet new people, you play with people you haven't played with before. And so it's just, a very inclusive sport. And that's what I really like about it.
Yeah. And I know that Alpharetta North Park is really booming with that because they have open play and people are always, and that's really close to downtown Alpharetta too, as well.
Right, it is.
All right. Well, thank you for all that great information about pickleball in North Atlanta, that, that's the craze and everyone's playing it, and there's lots of places to play here. So if you're coming from another part of the country and you play pickleball, you will definitely find a team at your level and just kind of move forward. And they just have so many leagues. They have organized leagues where a lot of places don't. So that's exciting. All right, let's move into our next segment, which is what we love about North Atlanta. And today we're going to talk about the mountains, which is one of my favorite things. And Sue, what are we going to talk about specifically?
Well, the North Atlanta area is at the foothills of the North Georgia mountains, and there's no shortage of beautiful scenery and, views for all of us that are sort of city dwellers to go out into, the mountains and take hikes and just have a nice, relaxing day. The first thing on my list here is Brasstown Bald. This mountain's visitor center is the highest point in Georgia at 4,784 feet above sea level. And it's just a short drive from like Blairsville or Hiawassee and Helen, which is up in the northern part of the state, of course. The second on my list is Blood Mountain. It's one of the most popular places to go for day hikes in North Georgia. It's the highest elevation summit on the Appalachian Trail, which is really cool that there are a lot of trailheads, for the Appalachian Trail, like entry points and so forth in the North Georgia area. Then if you go a little bit more southeast to Atlanta, the city proper that is, you come to Stone Mountain, and that includes 3,200 acres of outdoor recreational activities, seasonal attractions, and a variety of on-site lodging options. They do have, specialty shows there and so forth. Number 4 on my list is Sawney Mountain Preserve. This mountain is up in Cumming, Georgia. It has 963 acres. It includes a multiple list of hiking trails, Indian seats, a tree canopy classroom, a playground, 2 picnic pavilions, a climbing area, an amphitheater, and a visitor center. That's at Sawney Mountain Preserve in Cumming. Yes. And then finally on my list today is Red Top Mountain. It's a park, and it's best known for its 12,000 acre lake. It also includes camping and hiking and more than 15 miles of trails throughout the forested park.
So, what's really interesting that I don't think that people realize that you could fly into Atlanta airport and you can be in the mountains in less than 2 hours. No traffic. I mean, if there's traffic, it might take a little longer. So a lot of people will have a place in Florida, like they live in Florida and it's too hot during the summer. So they'll have a little cabin up in the North Georgia mountains. So many people will do that Florida, Georgia type of situation. And what I really love is all the waterfalls and all the hiking in the mountains. So there's just so much hiking to do in the mountains in North Georgia. And then of course, Stone Mountain is everybody knows Stone Mountain, right? That's the mountain everybody knows about when they talk about Atlanta. And it's just randomly out there. You know what I mean? It's not far from the city, but if you really want to go into heavy duty trails, and there'll be some bears running around.
Yes, there will.
In the North Georgia mountains. But my favorite time of the year to do a nice drive up there is during the fall. because you're going to see the beautiful fall colors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing like New England. It's just we have our own little, and it's a very quick time, because the weather changes and quickly everything changes. So you can go online and see when exactly that is. But just taking a drive up to the mountains, and on the way, there's pumpkin picking, there's apple. Oh, I love to go to the apple places and pick apples and have a nice little apple pie, fresh apple pie and apple cider. So really it's just like a whole experience, believe it or not, especially in the fall time. It's definitely an experience. And in the summertime, it's cooler than it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking to cool down, it's 95 degrees here. It's the temperature is going to be a lot cooler up there, so it's kind of nice to kind of go up there. And there's a lot of cute little towns to visit, and just places to go, and cabins, and you can just. Sometimes we don't realize when we live in a city, like we don't really. When we go on vacation, we all kind of like embrace that city or that town, and we just see everything, and we hike, and then when we live somewhere, we don't really experience the beauty of that state. And Georgia has so much to give when it comes to hiking and mountains. So,
well, the whole Blue Ridge area is so beautiful in Georgia. And then there are some cute little towns, such as Ball Ground has a great little downtown area.
Yes.
It's not very big. It does have a train that goes through it, but there's some little boutiques there and restaurants that you can just, walk around for a few hours and then move on. I mean, Ella J is kind of the same way as far as a really, really cute area to visit. And the one thing, I think we have to do a separate podcast on this, though, Mary Ellen. We need to do something on the wineries in the North Georgia area, because you can take a day trip, take in the beautiful leaves and the color in late October and early November here. And you can go to a winery, take a tour, have lunch, and look over the hills and the mountains of the North Georgia area while you're sitting at a winery.
I know people would never even think that there's actually a winery in Georgia, but there's
several. There's several. We've got to do a total podcast on that.
All right, we definitely will. So anything else to add about mountains, or,
No, I think we're good.
I think we handled it pretty well here. So fall is one of the best times to go to the mountains, I think, because in the wintertime, there's really not, it's not like you're going to see the snow, because it really doesn't exist. Because when people think of mountains, they think of, oh my gosh, let's go skiing. Let's go. Yeah, no, that doesn't exist here. We might get one little snow dusting. So my favorite time to go to the mountains is the fall time. So September, October, November, even in December, it's still really pretty. So, all right, let's go on to our next little area, which is the design tip of the day. So we're going to talk about design. What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about mirrors and how to hang your mirrors thoughtfully in your home. So when you have mirrors, they do a multitude of things for your room. They add more light to your room naturally. They make your room look bigger. And so what's important when you think about your mirrors is how you hang them. You want them to reflect something that is pretty in the background. So in other words, you want to be very, very careful when you hang it of what it's reflecting. So what's really great is if you could get it to reflect a window, and maybe a window that has some pretty trees or a nice view, so that you're bringing that outdoor element into your home. And also, you don't want it to reflect the ceiling. You don't want it to reflect your smoke alarm. You don't want it to reflect like the negative elements that we're trying to get away from here. So in the family room, for instance, if you were to hang a mirror, would you be looking in the background of your neighbor's basketball court, for instance? No, you want it to reflect the lake or the trees or the pool outside or something like that. And so what you need to do is to stand in that exact spot where you want to hang your mirror, turn around and look at what's behind you there. And see if that's something that,
Never
what's
thought of
facing you.
this.
Yeah,
This is so
it's
interesting.
very, very
I never
simple.
thought that, yeah. And the only other thing I think of mirrors is, us women, we love our little makeup mirrors that like attach to the wall in our bathroom. Like that's the best mirror possible. Like when I think of mirrors, I think of that, but it's amazing how mirrors can help with decoration throughout the whole entire house. So
They're a very inexpensive way to decorate, provided you hang them in the right space. So hanging them actually next to a window or a door or something that brings in the natural light is actually a really good place to put a mirror.
nice. Well, thank you so much. For anything else to talk about mirrors,
No,
I think
I
we
think we've
handled it.
got it.
So just to recap, today we talked about pickleball in North Atlanta. We had a neighborhood highlight of the Promenade at Sawney Village, which is a 55 and plus community in Cumming in Forsyth County. And then what we love about North Atlanta is the mountains, especially during the fall. And we talked, the design tip of the day is mirrors, which I learned a lot about mirrors that I didn't even know. So anyway, mirrors are great, great to decorate. Thanks, Sue. You follow us on social media. We appreciate you coming and listen to us. And if you want some information on our weekly news, which gives events in the Milton and Alpharetta area, let us know. We're happy to add you to our list. Thanks. And Sue, have a great day.
You too. Bye.